How's it going, everybody? Jeff Odom here from the Tampa Bay Times and USF Oracle with a well-dressed Collin Sherwin from Bulls 24/7.
Bulls against cancer.
And Collin, big 38-14 win tonight here for the USF Bulls. Their third straight win. First time that's happened for this program since 2011, and it was a big one. Big night for Quentin Flowers in the absence of Marlon Mack tonight, and really just a big all-around night for this program.
Quentin Flowers with by far his best game in college. 201 yards on the ground. Most rushing yards by any USF QB ever. Most in all of FBS and all of college football by a quarterback so far this season. Amazing performance by him. Also 90-some through the air. But what he did on the ground was what really set up everything USF needed to do. They had to find some ground attack today without Marlon Mack in the game. And that's exactly what Quentin gave them. Just a tremendous performance by him. And the defense forcing 4 turnovers. They had a big day too, but Quentin Flowers is your superstar for today.
Yeah, really. I mean, you go back to the absence of Marlon Mack. He's out with the injury. He was available to play, Willie Taggart said in the post-game press conference, but they kind of erred on the side of precaution. You know, there was really no instance where he had to come in and play tonight. And really, I think tonight was the biggest growth period for Quentin Flowers that we've seen in his entire career here at USF. And it showed on the stat sheet, I mean, obviously, but the last couple weeks, Taggart has continuously said, what a leader Quentin has become. And for a guy as young as he is, as a sophomore, to kind of finally take the reins of this program, and it really paid off well for him. Like you said, 201 yards rushing. It also breaks the American Athletic Conference record, who was ironically set by Matt Davis last year against UConn, the SMU quarterback there. And just a big overall. I mean, you can't really ask for much more than what we saw tonight from this team. And obviously there were some problems, drop passes, which kind of hindered Quentin overall. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty spectacular performance overall.
If the receivers hang on to the ball today, USF goes over 500 yards, and Quentin Flowers is accountable for over 90% of them. A lot of stone hands out there, a lot of plays that were still left on the field, and USF still won by 24.
Yeah.
I know SMU's not a great team, and their defense was 125th in the country coming in for a reason. But the USF did exactly what they had to do without their best player on the field, Marlon Mack, and they still found a way to win. They still got 4 turnovers. They still had to do totally, completely impressive performance by them today. They got to keep it going at Navy, though. This is great. You're at 4-3, bowl games in sight. You see UCF at the end of the year, and that looks like a win right now because they are just it's a smoldering crater over there in Orlando. Bulls got to find a way to win one of the next 4 and lock up a bowl game.
And you mentioned the defense. What a night by them. Jamie Byrd has been the catalyst, the driving force for this defense. He came into UConn last week and never had a sack here at USF, and in 5.5 quarters, he had 4. He also, forced a big fumble there on the first drive. SMU had come into this game. I believe they had scored on like 5 of the last 6 games, or 4 of the last 6 games. They had scored on that opening possession, so it was a big key for them to kind of shut them down early. You mentioned Tajay Fuller with the night he had with the punt returns, and really even Sean Hill had an interception on the defensive line, which Taggart said that was, what do you say, big man head ups or something like that. I mean, that's a big play right there for USF's defense.
Sean Hill's listed at 270 pounds, and he's got more vertical than I think both of us combined on that play. That was pretty impressive. Jamie Byrd, 10 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks.
Yeah.
Just a monster game for him. He was running all over the field. He actually told me after the game that there was on one play where he's like, wait, they're not covering me?
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to get to the quarterback and just nobody's going to block me? And he was super excited. Defense really played well. And, SMU's defense is pretty bad. But their offense has shown the ability to score against some of the best teams in the country this year, against teams like Baylor and TCU. USF did a great job of shutting them down today on both sides of the ball. This was a really, really impressive performance. Now, you got to back it up. You got to go to Navy, who plays a completely different style of football than anything you're ever going to see in the American Conference outside of them. It's basically Georgia Tech and Navy are the 2 teams that run this triple option system. Get your knees ready, do a lot of squash. You're going to get cut and block a lot this week, and that's what USF really needs to do. Navy's going to control the clock. Can USF go out there and score when they get the ball next week?
Yeah, another thing about Navy is how physical that team is. And usually the game after you play Navy is always probably even tougher because the toll it takes on the players' bodies and that kind of thing. So going up there in that environment, a noon kickoff next Saturday night, that's going to be a big key. And I think if USF can stay competitive, if they can kind of hang in there, that'll be a big momentum boost. Now you have the stretch after that of East Carolina, Cincinnati, and obviously undefeated Temple coming here to November 14th too. So those are big games for USF. They got to win one of these next 4 or 5 games to get to that bowl game. And it's kind of interesting. It's rare to feel like this after 3 straight wins. We haven't experienced it. I know I haven't experienced it before, so it's a rare feeling, that's for sure.
I was here when USF was winning 8-9 games a year, and it's been a long time, and it's great to see. Students got to show up.
Yeah.
This is really something that I understand that they might not totally be bought into what this team is doing, and after, for the upperclassmen, they haven't seen any good football. If you've been here 4 years, you haven't really seen much. But it's time for the students to come back, and hopefully with a win at Navy next week, they can really start to fill this place up. That Temple game, if there's something on the line there, or Cincy at the end of the year, if they're still playing for a big division and a big bowl game, it would be really nice to see this place get closer to full. I mean, you're not going to, it's not 2007 again, but it would be nice to see the lower bowl get a lot closer to full for a couple of these games coming down the stretch.
Again, USF beats SMU here at Raymond James Stadium tonight, 38-14.
14.
Okay,
That's
just
all.
making sure. I was making sure.
Yeah.
Biggest conference margin of victory for USF since they beat Syracuse 45-13 back in 2008. So a big win, obviously, for USF moving forward. They got Navy. Collin, what's on Bulls 24/7 this week?
We're going to do some sort of breakdown of Navy's triple option offense. You got to see what they do. It's completely different than what everybody else does. It's still efficient. It's mostly ground based, and then when they do pull it and pass it, it's really tough to defend. The quarterback Reynolds at Navy is a real stud, and so they've got some players up there that can do some things. But it'll be completely different than anything you've seen from USF that USF has played in a long time, probably since the 1AA days. And also, we'll break down this win. We'll get you ready for the next one. And also, a lot of soccer coverage this week. Right now, USF is also playing SMU in soccer. Men's soccer and women's soccer, both top 20 teams right now. Their tournaments are starting. It's going to be a big week. And, basketball is getting started. We'll be at Media Day on Monday and Tuesday for men's and women's basketball.
It's breezing through here.
It's just,
it's the train.
This is the time of year when everything gets compressed and none of us sleep. So here we go.
And you can always check out TampaBay.com. Tomorrow's Tampa Bay Times as well. Joey Knight has the Gamer. I have the 5 things you might have missed. And also USFOracle.com throughout the week as well for all of your USF Bulls coverage. So for a sharp-dressed man and Collin Sherwin, I am the not-so-sharp-dressed man.
Rest of the season.
And Jeff Odom, we will talk to you soon. Not after next week because I won't be going. But
I'll be there.
He'll be there. He'll have
See you,
your
Navy.
coverage. I don't make that much to go up there. I'm a college
Trust
student.
me, so
remember.
neither does Bulls 24/7. We'll see you guys next week.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
bye.